Hey people, it is Thursday, January the 9th. The time is 5:34 p.m. And it is a chilly -6 Celsius, feeling more like -12 with the wind chill. I'm on the corner of Dundas Street West and Ossington Avenue. And there's a look south down Ossington. But I'm going to be making my way west for a bit along Dundas here. But my eventual destination is actually on Dufferin Street up near Bloor and Dufferin, and that is the Dufferin Mall. I thought I'd make my way to a nice warm indoor location, but we'll take a walk through a bit of the area before we get to the mall. But once I do get to the Dufferin Mall, of course I'll walk through the mall. And we'll get a look at what's new at the good old Dirty Duff, as it was once known. I don't think it's really deserving of that nickname anymore. I think you'll find the Dufferin Mall is actually quite nice these days, and it's doing quite well. It's been a while since I've done a walk through that mall. And it is a nice warm indoor location, so today seems like the day for it. It doesn't take very long to walk through the Dufferin Mall, though. It's not very large compared to many of the big regional malls in and around Toronto, of which I've done videos through most of them. I think it takes all of 5 minutes to walk through the Dufferin Mall. So I thought I'd start off with a walk through some of the neighborhoods here in the West End to get a proper length video. So we'll walk along this part of Dundas Street in Little Portugal. And I think we'll walk along a bit of College Street up to the north as well. Some gusty winds, definitely making it feel like minus double digits. And I have to say, after being out here for the last couple of hours, I'm looking forward to warming up inside of the good old Dirty Duff. Here's Dovercourt Road. Let's take a walk up to College along Dovercourt. This is actually a very charming residential stretch. Although it's getting dark now, probably can't see things quite as well, but nevertheless. So this will take us up to College. See some of the Bay and Gable style Victorian row houses. Toronto Police Division. Charming housing stock. Very small front yards. A lot of these old Victorian neighborhoods in this part of the city don't even have any front yards to speak of. Oftentimes they front right onto the sidewalk. Trying to see the name of this police division over here. There's little trees in front of the sign. And so much traffic here. I think a lot of people use this as a shortcut. I think it defeats the purpose when everyone has the same idea. Oh, well, I didn't catch what police division number that was, but I'm sure I can find out easily enough afterwards. Older apartment building. There's a number of these nice old walk-up apartment buildings actually all along Dovercourt Road. Right, now we're approaching College Street. That's looking towards downtown and Little Italy. Local YMCA location here in a nice old historic building. This whole part of the city is just full of nice old historic buildings, including the old Matador Club right over there. The building still stands. The club is long since closed, though. That was famously featured in a music video by Leonard Cohen for the song Closing Time. It's a shame that that is no longer operating. I think there were plans to build a mid-rise condo there, but they're going to preserve the old sign of the Matador. But that was years ago, and nothing has moved forward with that project. Maybe it's no longer happening. I don't know. I wouldn't mind so much if that building remained. Wines of Portugal. So this is still considered Little Portugal here on this part of College as well. Although Dundas Street is really the heart of Little Portugal. So I think I'll just make my way over to Dufferin, and we'll just walk straight north up Dufferin, and it's not too far to the mall. Dufferin's not the prettiest street in that part of town, admittedly. Some of these residential neighborhoods are much more charming to walk along. This is Havelock Street. But also very quiet to walk along those residential stretches. A bit more action on Dufferin Street. Well, you see a lot of this at this time of year. Discarded Christmas tree. It's always a bit sad. The tree basically was raised to serve one purpose and one purpose only. And my camera and microphone will be happy to get inside the mall also. The batteries in these devices don't deal with sub-zero frigid weather very well. And certainly not with even colder wind chills. All right, here we are, Dufferin. This is just a big, busy street with a very busy bus route. Jokingly called the Sufferin' Dufferin. Another nickname. Let's take the Sufferin' Dufferin bus to the Dirty Duff Mall. Housing stock is mainly 100-plus-year-old semi-detached brick houses. Approaching one of the entrances to the mall. The mall is built kind of like a big L shape. There's one of the Sufferin' Dufferin buses. That's Dufferin Grove Park across the street. You got some bus bunching happening here. They try not to do that, but it happens all the time. This is an express. And we're passing by the Marshall store at this end of the mall. Look how packed this is. You can see why they call it the Sufferin' Dufferin.
Route 29 Dufferin, southbound towards Exhibition, Dufferin Gate.
I think one was an express and one isn't. All right, well, here's the grand entrance to the Dirty Duff. And now I can start to thaw out. I'll take the stairs instead of the escalator. always prefer to take the stairs if that's an option. All right. There's the Marshalls. Center map. Let's see. There we go. So you can see the L shape. So we're down here. So not very big, as you can see, but it does have a full-size Walmart, a Toys R Us, because we still have those in Canada. No Frills grocery store. And the Marshalls also. H&M, and over 100 smaller retailers. This is just a neighborhood shopping mall. If you want one of the big malls, it's generally located in the more suburban areas, other than the Eaton Center, which is the big downtown mall. But the big suburban malls, Yorkdale and Fairview Mall, Scarborough Town Center, Sherway Gardens, of course, Square One in Mississauga, Vaughan Mills, and a bunch of others. Big Gap store here still. When I first moved to Toronto in 2010, I spent a lot of time wandering around in this mall because my sister lived close by and still does. She moved, but she still lives close by. And I was staying with her for a little while, and I ended up always coming here to the mall to wander around, especially in the winter weather. But now that I live on the east side of downtown, I rarely come to this mall anymore, unless I'm recording a video or something. I think the last 3 or 4 times I was here was exactly for that reason, and now I'm here again. So a pretty decent food court. And you can see it's busy, like this mall is doing very well. There's hardly any vacancies. And the neighborhoods around the mall are very nice, well-to-do for the most part. Going back 30 or 40 years, I think it was a lot different. And the mall had not the best reputation back in those days. Dogs all dressed for the weather. And it definitely feels nice to not have to worry about my hands freezing as I hold the camera. I think the location that the mall sits on was once a horse racing track. Going back to the early part of the 1900s, up until around the 1950s. That's why you have a shopping mall like this in an otherwise old pre-war part of the city. It was just a big plot of land that became available to developers after that horse racing track closed down. And it was right around the time when shopping malls were becoming all the rage, so why not build a mall in the middle of an inner city neighborhood? And this wasn't the only one. They did it just to the north of here at the old Galleria Mall location, which is now pretty much redeveloped with new high-density residential towers. And on the east side, they also developed a mall there in the Riverdale area called Gerrard Square. But right beside this mall, up around Bloor, by Dufferin subway station, there's a huge cluster of new towers going up. And I think there'll be more urban intensification taking place all around the Dufferin Mall. There's the big Walmart. It's like a 2-story Walmart. I think it used to be a Woolco going back pre-Walmart days. The H&M. And it smells really good here. And the reason why it smells really good here is because of this. I think that's my main memory of the Dufferin Mall from when I used to come here all the time. Just take a look at this last bit of concourse over here. There's a Winners store. That's like Canada's version, not Virgin, Canada's version of TJ Maxx. It's owned by the same company. Pretzels, and here's the Toys R Us. You can get some gadgets here. I just saw on the news recently that Toys R Us will be closing some locations around the province. I didn't see the list, though, of which locations will be closing, so I'm not sure if that includes this one. Hopefully not. This store always seems to be pretty busy anytime I'm in the mall recording. I did at least one video where I went inside the Toys R Us. And that's it. The Dufferin Mall doesn't take very long to walk through, as I said. You can see the new towers rising all around the periphery of the mall here. And I think there were plans also to redevelop some of the surface parking lot in this area as well, with some new residential buildings. But that does it for the walk. We started at Dundas and Ossington and made our way along Dundas for a bit of Dovercourt Road, up to College, and then along College to Dufferin, and then up Dufferin here to the Dufferin Mall, once known as the Dirty Duff. Those days are long gone, I think. But I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any memories of this mall? Do you remember what it was like back in the day when it didn't have any, or didn't have the best of reputations? That was before I ever came here, so I don't have any memories of the mall as the Dirty Duff. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store, and you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under Kcontinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because, as always, I will continue.